to the 2024 Golden Drum Awards ceremony. The host for this evening is Mr. Kareem Bertrand.
Thank you. Good evening. You may have your seats. Her Excellency, the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Mrs. Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton, Honorable Greta Roberts, Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, other Ministers of Cabinet present, Mrs. Leticia Lestrade-White, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Mr. Earlston Matthew, Acting Chief Cultural Officer, all heads of department, Her Worship Sandra Ermine Royer, Mayor of Roseau, Mrs. Anne-Marie Wallace, Madame Wob 2022, Mrs. Veronica Nicholas, Madame of Madames 2023, Miss Tanisha Balson, Miss Wob Viet 2023, contestants for the National Miss Wob Viet 2024 pageant, our corporate partners, our awardees, staff of the Cultural Division, invited guests, the media, performers, viewers, listeners, good evening. Good evening. And welcome to the 2024 Golden Drum Awards. It's a pleasure to have you here. So forget about the Oscars, forget about the Grammys, forget about the Tonys, forget about the Academy Awards. This here is the best award show on earth. Can I get an amen? That's right. And if you disagree with me, you can argue with the wind. So tonight we're going to be acknowledging and recognizing some amazing people who have contributed and continue to contribute to the promotion and the development of the arts and culture in Dominica. Isn't that a great thing? Of course. So we say thank you to the Sixth Form Sister Singers for leading us in prayer and the national anthem. And we're going to get tonight going. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, so at this point, it gives me great pleasure to invite to the podium Mr. Earlston Matthew, the Acting Chief Cultural Officer. Mr. Matthew.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bertrand. Her Excellency, the President, Mrs. Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton, welcome to your first Golden Drum Award ceremony in that capacity. Honorable Greta Roberts, Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, other Ministers of Cabinet present, Mrs. Leticia Lestrade-White, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, other heads of department present, Her Worship Sandra Ermine Royer, Mayor of Roseau, Mrs. Anne-Marie Wallace, Madame Wob 2022, Mrs. Veronica Nicholas, Marboy International, Madame of Madames, 2023, Miss Tanisha Balson, Miss Wob 2023, contestants for the National Miss Wob 2024, corporate partners, distinguished awardees, staff of the Cultural Division, invited guests, media, performers, viewers, listeners, pleasant good evening. Last year, I joked about securing this venue by awarding the President Secretary a Golden Drum. I think we created an impression, and this time around, the Honorable Minister would not have it any other way. So welcome once again to the State House Conference Center for the Golden Drum Award ceremony. This event is the culmination of Emancipation 2024 activities, at least from the Cultural Division's perspective, because there is still a steel pan event to come on the 11th of August. I can probably say that Emancipation 2024 was a resounding success. We saw the Encounters dance production by the White Woolly Dance Theatre Company Great job as usual, Mr. Lawrence and the crew. They're all the carpenters. There was also Afro-Artistic, which we did on the Bayfront in collaboration with Karen and the Three Monkeys Bar. That was special because we always lament that people are not participating in cultural activities. What we did in that instance was to bring the culture to the people in a setting that was more in line with their regular Friday activities. We showcased various cultural performances and launched the beautiful young ladies that you see before you for the 2024 Miss Walk to Yet pageant. And yes, we're very early this year, and the intention is to up the standards of that pageant. So, okay, wait. Another interesting, thought-provocative feature of Emancipation 2024 was the panel discussion done in collaboration with the University of the West Indies Global Campus, where we explored the topic, freedom of creativity and artistic expression. A lot of food for thought from that as we unearthed challenges, but most importantly, solutions. Last Saturday, there was Lawan Abalalin with the Capuchin Tourism Group. I know Gillis and the Honorable Rui can tell you about that. And every Friday during the season, we had African dress days. That we will continue to push until it gets to the level of the Hardcore Fridays that we have during the independent season. We cannot do it alone. I would like to extend sincere gratitude to all who made Emancipation 2024 the success that it was. And let me just say, we have a lot in store for Independence 2024. Again, it's okay time. From the opening, go down, fire. Let me acknowledge and thank the hardworking staff of the Cultural Division for what was delivered during Emancipation, and as well as what you're about to witness tonight. Hands together for the Cultural Division staff, please. They say it's better to give people their flowers while they are alive. So I would like to be the first to officially congratulate all of the awardees. Round of applause for them. Please. You have no idea how many deserving people we have shortlisted. You don't believe me? Ask Dede and Cecil how long they've been nominated and waited for this day. Well, guys, the moment is here. And I will not say who shed tears of joy when they found out that they were finally receiving the awards. But this is serious. And it was a touching moment when we gave Mr. Ashworth Brown Simon a token of our appreciation during the Domfesta season. And that turned out to be us making one of his latter days one of his happiest. We didn't know that at the time we did it. So we will continue to use opportunities like that to show appreciation, because we cannot do it once a year. I continue to advocate for the inclusion of youth in everything that we do, and for everyone to play their respective roles in that mission. Ministries, private sector, general public. From the division standpoint, we will be pushing our summer arts program, customary summer arts program, and the Dominica Institute for the Arts, DIFA, will reopen in September. But tonight is about the Golden Drum and the awardees. So welcome once again, and congratulations once more to the awardees. I hope that all present, viewing and listening are appreciative of tonight's offering. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Urson Matthew. I think Urson is particularly happy that I am hosting this evening because perhaps tonight he will not be the shortest man in the room. So you're welcome. All right, but give it up to Urson Matthew, the acting chief cultural officer, and the dynamic staff of the cultural division. They're doing an amazing job. So we're looking forward to this year's independence season, Mr. Matthew. You've already set us up, and we are looking forward to it. All right, so to give us some remarks, it gives me great pleasure to invite to the podium the Honorable Greta Roberts, Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports, and Community Development.
Good evening, everyone. Let me, of course, recognize the presence of Her Excellency the President, Mrs. Fanny Burton and Mr. Burton, other members of Cabinet who are here and who are probably late. I dragged them, well, I shouldn't use drag. I forced them to come up to Grand Fort today for a funeral that we had. And I think we went ahead of time, so I'm hoping that they will soon come, because I was not the only one to rush down to be here on time. Let me also recognize, of course, my Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Letitia Lestrade-White, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Mr. Wilson Matthew, of course, my dear friend and Chief Cultural Officer, all heads of department, Her Worship, Sandra Irwin Roy, Mayor Rosso, Mrs. Anne-Marie Wallace, Madame Workgate 2022, Mrs. Veronica Nicholas, Madam of Madams 2023, and Ms. Tanisha Balson, National Miss Workgate 2023. All contestants for Miss Workgate 2024, our corporate partners, awardees, tonight is your night, staff of the Cultural Division, invited guests, the media, performers, viewers, listeners, a blessed night to you all. We are here again, and it is an honor and a privilege for me to be here to participate in this grand event, the Golden Drum Awards, which recognizes and awards the outstanding contribution of our cultural stalwarts. I would first like to extend most heartfelt congratulations to this year's awardees. You deserve our highest commendations for the role you have played and continue to play in the preservation and advancement of Dominica's rich heritage. I am of the firm view that our art forms, traditions, and vibrant culture are second to none in the Caribbean and even internationally. Dominica is a cultural hub of the highest caliber, and our distinct cultural practices truly set us apart. Your contribution to the growth and advancement of this rich tapestry of our cultural heritage is truly admirable and deserving of the highest honor from the Cultural Division and, of course, the government of Dominica. As Minister with responsibility for culture, therefore, I am happy to play a part in recognizing the dedication of all of you who have devoted your lives to the arts. You have not only excelled in your respective fields, but have also enriched our lives and inspired us all. Tonight, you are being recognized for your contributions over many years in traditional and contemporary music, traditional dance, and the visual and performing arts. All of these contributions have added value to artistic expressions and increased our appreciation for our people and culture. Culture is the heart and soul of our society. It is through the arts that we express our deepest emotions and tell of our most profound stories. And through your voices, your instruments, your dances and images, you have certainly played key roles in telling the Dominican story and sustaining it for future generations. You represent the pinnacle of artistic achievement, and this award seeks to give you your dues. Your dedication, passion, and creativity are a testament to the enduring power of the arts, and you remind us that culture has the unique power to shape our identity, to foster understanding, and to fuel our imagination to be creative. For all of us, the arts provide a common ground, a space where we can come together to celebrate our commonalities. Whether through music, visual arts, dance, or theater, our artists give voice to our collective Dominican experience and allows us to see the world around us through different eyes. As a government, we are committed to supporting the arts and ensuring that our cultural stalwarts continue to thrive. We recognize the vital role that culture plays in the well-being of our society and the development of our nation. We will therefore continue to invest in the cultural initiatives, provide opportunities for emerging artists, and promote the preservation and celebration of our diverse cultural heritage. We have recently paid particular attention to pursuing opportunities in the creative industries, which call for an interplay of various subsectors, ranging from traditional crafts, visual and performing arts, to technological and service-oriented fields, music and film, television and radio broadcasting, media, and design. All these have the potential to contribute to our cultural, economic, and social development. One of tonight's awardees, Ms. Rosalind Paul, has been instrumental in this effort, and the government has every intention of harnessing our various talents and capabilities to create a sector in which our artists can thrive and showcase their skills. I am also fully cognizant of the need for a cultural center, as the Prime Minister indicated recently, where our people can indulge in the richness and vibrancy of a Dominican culture. But I will say it tonight, I know Mr. Matthew is sitting there, not also this time, Mr. Curtis Matthew. But I will say it tonight, that whilst we await this center, that this ministry will do everything humanly possible to ensure that our long-awaited Arawak House of Culture will be completed and transformed into a welcoming cultural center. And by the end of this year, we will all assemble to celebrate this historic moment together. I expect that share a round of applause or something. Don't let people leave me, trust me. We're going to do that by the end of the year. That is why I repeat it and I say it tonight. And I know Curtis will also need to make sure it gets done. At this time, I pause, of course, to take a moment to also celebrate and applaud the work being done by Mr. Wilson Matthew and his team at the Cultural Division. They might think I'm not taking them on, but I love them so much. They have once again put together a wonderful evening in your honor, and I think they are highly deserving of our praise and thanks. Take a bow. Once again to our awardees, I say thank you. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to your craft. Thank you for pushing the boundaries of what is possible and for inspiring future generations. This part is important because your passion for your craft sets the right example for our youth and our communities, in whom we want to build an appreciation for everything Dominican. Your work entertains us, but it also teaches us the value of what is ours and the importance of protecting it. So tonight we celebrate your creativity and talent and use this opportunity to recommit to nurturing and supporting the arts in all its forms. Congratulations to all of you. I bow before you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us celebrate now and let us honor our people who are trying their best to let our culture, how this lady put it, Sonia Lloyd, quitte culture la vie. Have a wonderful evening all. May God bless you all, and may God bless our beautiful country. Thank you.
thank the Honorable Minister for her remarks this evening. And of course, as an active student of Dominica's culture, I look forward to welcoming the opening of the insert name, because probably the name might change. The Dr. Orwin Bully, or the Mr. Raymond Lawrence, or the Auntie Pearl Christian, whatever it is, Center of the Arts and Culture. But rest assured, I'll be there when it's open. All right, so we thank you for that. And the evening is just getting started, just getting warmed up. And here to help us put some fire in the cold pot of the award show, we have a performance now from the Kush Cultural Group. And it will be led by, or it is led by, I should say, one of the Golden Drum awardees for this evening, Ms. Rosalind Paul. So put your hands together now for the Kush Cultural Group.
Si já contribuir, certainement il est
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a performance here by the Paulus Cultural Group, being led by one of our Golden Drum awardees this evening, Miss Rosalind Paul. Thank you very much. So we're going to ask or invite the Honorable Minister to join us back on stage, center stage. Because at this point, we are going to move to our first batch of awardees. So we have 5 individuals and 1 group that we are going to be awarded this evening for their contribution to the promotion and preservation of Dominica's culture. So we invite you now to turn your attentions to the screen as we award the first batch of awardees for this evening.
Special Recognition Award presented to Anisha Hilaire. Mrs. Anisha Hilaire from the community of Petit Savan has been involved in the performance, promotion, development and training of the national dance for over 20 years. At the tender age of 9, she became a member of the Petit Savan Children's Dance Group under the tutelage of Mrs. Mary Fontaine. In 1999, she became a member of the Petit Savan Cultural Group. Mrs. Hilaire is proficient in the ballet and all of the traditional Jing Ping dances, especially those unique to the community of Petit Savan. She has performed at many events over the past years, including performing at hotels, private events, cultural exchanges, locally and abroad, and of course during the independence celebrations. Mrs. Hilaire also assists with coordinating the necessary training for group members to ensure performances are of an excellent standard both at rehearsals and on stage. She has been assigned the role of preparing and leading the Petit Savan Cultural Group for the yearly independence dance competitions on multiple occasions. On these occasions, the group emerged in top positions. Mrs. Hilaire's involvement in the development of the traditional dance art form has not been limited to the Petit Savan Cultural Group. She has assisted Mrs. Athena Daru in the training and the development of other cultural groups in their formative stages, for example, the Davis Cultural Group. She has also performed at annual independence dance competitions with these groups, boosting the confidence of the dancers. During the early years of her teaching career at the Petit Savan Primary School, Mrs. Hilaire, with the assistance of Mrs. Athena Daru, created a Petit Savan Primary School children's traditional and creative dance group. To ensure the group's participation, Mrs. Hilaire learned to sew so that the costumes were never a hindrance to the students participating during the independence celebrations, schools' art festivals, and youth rallies. Additionally, the Petit Savan Primary School's Creole activities are coordinated by Mrs. Hilaire. In 1999, you would have seen Mrs. Hilaire, along with Mr. Stephen Teat, participate in the Creole couple competition, winning the prize for Best Performing Talent. In 2002, she was a Miss Dominica contestant and over the years has chaperoned and helped to build costumes for contestants for various pageants, including Carnival Princess, Teen Matador, and Miss Rock Duet shows. The National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present the Special Recognition Award to Anisha Hilaire.
The Chupul Omas Band was formed in 2014 by carnival enthusiasts to preserve and promote the traditional carnival Omas for posterity. The main aim of the band is to revive and sustain the traditional Juve concept of Chatwal and the chorus type of singing typical and traditional masquerade. The band has in its repertoire a selection of old Creole masquerade songs, of social commentary, and the popular calypsos. Members of the band all play instruments like the drums, wash, cowbells, horns, among others. The band has provided musical accompaniment for the Creole Dress Parade on Journée Creole for the last 2 years. As a means of education and the promotion of Dominica's traditional wear, Chupul Omas Band members wore the outfit of the freed slaves in 2023 on Journée Creole as part of their contribution to the independence celebration. Chupul Omas Band promotes the traditional Creole rhythms and the songs at private functions, village activities, and the Lapo Kabit Festival. The National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present the Special Recognition Award to the Chupul Omas Band.
Special Recognition Award presented to Ordell Hamilton. Hailing from the community of Hamilton. His name is synonymous with cultural music. After years of observing his older family members participate in cultural activities, at the age of 10, he stepped into the arena himself. He joined the Biditsavan Cultural Group at the age of 10, and the rest, as we know, was history. He sharpened his dancing skills, and, with the exception of ballet, he commands the stage in all of Dominica's cultural dances. Ordell's interest in the rich culture of Dominica extended beyond the cultural dances. He was also very much interested in the instruments. He first started playing the guitar at the Catholic Church in his community. This enabled him to hone his skill, which has led him to play for local bands and artists. Over the years, Ordell has learned to play not one, not two, but all of the instruments of the Jing Ping band, mastering the accordion. Today, he's a skilled and entertaining guitarist. His love for music as a whole is further exemplified as a member of 2 popular bands in Dominica. He's the band leader and guitarist for Ecstasy Band and the lead guitarist for Triple K International. His love for Dominican traditional culture has directed his path to become a cultural assistant at the Cultural Division for the last 5 years. His role is to ensure that the traditional aspect of Dominican music remains alive and thriving. He is also the tutor for the accordion and Jing Ping instruments. The National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present the Special Recognition Award to Ordell Hamilton.
Special Recognition Award presented to Vernandra Christian. Vernandra Christian, affectionately known as the Holy, is a percussionist specializing in acoustic drum set and steel drums. In a culture where women are not often seen playing a strong role as an instrumentalist in a band, she's leading the path as a female percussionist with 20 plus years of experience in Dominica. Having started playing at the age of 7, this has landed her major features in outlets such as Sun Newspaper Magazine and The Link Magazine. Vernie has worked with national, regional, and international bands like Teocast, Dominica, Solid the Band, Grenada, and the Lucy Dubrow Band, Czech Republic. As a freelance drummer, she has backed up Ophelia Murray and performed with local artists such as Lobster from Golden Squad, just to name a few. As a cruise ship musician, she has toured the Mediterranean and Australasia on board MSC and Royal Caribbean cruise lines, performing both as an acoustic drummer and a steel panist. Her most recent bands include the Melanin Band as of October 2023. She is currently one of the newest members of the longest-serving band in Dominica, the Swinging Stars. Vernandra grew to love and learn the steel pan as a single tenor pan player. Initially, she performed as a drummer for the Genesis Steel Pan Orchestra, then joined Pan in Harmony in 2014. She serves as a single tenor player and one of the musical arrangers for the band. As a teacher, she further went on to lead and arrange music for the DGS Steel Orchestra from 2016 to 2017. She has also competed alongside other Dominicans as a performer in the Harmonites Steel Orchestra from Antigua and has spent time with Charot's Steel Orchestra in Grenada. While both CXC Music and K Performing Arts programs were new to Dominica, Vernandra was among the pioneering group for both of these courses locally. With a love for performing, composing, and arranging music, she made her country proud by topping the region in the K Performing Arts exam in 2022, and she captured the second place in the business for the arts unit. She has served as a teacher of acoustic drums at the cultural division from as early as 2008 to 2011, and again as a teacher of DFA, teaching both adult steel pan classes and acoustic drum set. In her own personal spare time as the founder of Music Rehab Studios, she has written, composed, and published various songs, including Efemwe Haley and Music Remedy. The National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present the Special Recognition Award to Vernandra Christian.
Special Recognition Award presented to Priscilla Paul. Miss Priscilla Paul hails from the cultural and close-knit community of Peebush. She attended the Peebush Government School and was an enthusiastic member of the school choir. It was there that her love for singing and drumming as culture was cultivated and nurtured. In 1995, she became a member of the Peebush Cultural Group while in fourth form. To date, Priscilla is still an active member of the Peebush Cultural Group. She continues to portray her love for culture, and she is ever willing to sing and read in church upon request. Although not a drummer, she was able to organize a drumming group at the Peebush Primary School where she teaches, which has fostered many children in the art of traditional drumming, many of which have moved on to become members of the Peebush Drummers. She continues to engage children in culture in the area of ballet, patois song, and some of the rounded dances. Priscilla also helps to organize shows, namely Princess and Tea Matador in her community. The National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present the Special Recognition Award to Priscilla Paul.
Special Recognition Award presented to Mr. Jason Joseph. Mr. Jason Joseph has been a drummer for over 25 years. He started off drumming in the small community of Bath Estate where he resided. The journey began with a small group called FX Band in 1999. Then he got introduced to another young band called the Juveniles Band 1 year after. Shortly after becoming exposed to the Booyah fraternity, he got to the gigs with bands such as the Impromptu Band, Raw Rhythm, and WCK. Whilst on his musical journey, he then ventured into the Zouk and Kanas arena, where he continues to perform with artists like Michael Henderson, Ophelia Murray, and Gordon Henderson. He is a member of Triple K International, a band which he has been with for the past 18 years. Having years of experience under his belt, he has also backed up a few soca and reggae artists such as Lyrical, Flippo, Dennis Belfont, GBM, Irfan Alves, Vaughn, Christopher Martin, Romain Virgo, and D Major. He has toured and is still touring extensively to many countries, including the US, New York, Miami, Texas, Atlanta, Canada, in Europe, England, Belgium, Germany, Finland, Russia, Denmark, in the Caribbean, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, Trinidad, St. Martin, Antigua, among others. He has also worked with the youth in teaching the skill of drumming, both at the Old Mill Cultural Center and privately. The National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present the Special Recognition Award to Jason Joseph.
And there you have it. Thank you very much to the recipients of our special recognition awards. We thank the Honorable Greta Roberts for assisting us with the presentation, along with the Madam Warb 2022, Madam of Madams 2023, and Miss Warb 2023. So again, we say congratulations to Anisha Hillier, Triple Old Mass Band, Odell Hamilton, Renandra Christian, Priscilla Paul, and Jason Joseph. Accepted Jason's award, I believe is his sister. Yes, all right. So, of course, what is very lovely about, just go put your hands together again for them. The recipients of the Special Recognition Award, it's not so much about their talent and what they have, but what they do and what they give. So in all of the citations, we heard that, yes, they're talented, but they're giving back. They're teaching. And the first rule in preserving the culture is to pass it on. So we thank you for doing your part in the preservation and promotion for both traditional and contemporary culture here on this nature island Dominica. Thank you again. Yes, that is enough. So we're going to be a night of round of applause, round of applause. Your hands will get tired, but keep them going. Because next we have another performance by one of our Golden Drum awardees this evening, Mr. Paulus Frederick. So put your hands together for Mr. Paulus Frederick. And that was Mr. Paulus Frederick. Of course, he will be receiving a Golden Drum Award this evening for obvious reasons. Mr. Frederick is a triple threat. So he gave us flute, he gave us drums, and he also gave us vocals. So of course, his award this evening is testament to his talent, and we thank him for continuing to warm us up. I still find that a little bit cold. I was expecting to see some movements of dancing during Mr. Frederick's performance. So let's see how the night goes, okay? All right, so we're getting set to give out the Golden Drum Awards. Of course, this is the highest award for the evening, where we'll be recognizing people who have really contributed and still continue to contribute, but they've really left a legacy in Dominica in terms of the arts and the culture. But before we get to the Golden Drums, we have one other performance from the Piditsavan Cultural Group. Piditsavan Cultural Group, and of course, we saw earlier that Mrs. Anisha Hilaire was awarded special recognition, and she's also part of the Piditsavan Cultural Group. So let's put our hands together as they perform for us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Piditsavan Cultural Group. Of course, in the beginning I said the Piditsavan Cultural Group with Anisha Hillier, but also Odell Hamilton. So we have two of our specially recognized people this evening being part of the Piditsavan Cultural Group. Makes you want to join a cultural group. All right? So although the lights are bright in my eyes, I did pick out Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Raymond Lawrence in the audience. Former Chief Cultural Officer, Mr. Lawrence. Of course, Mr. Lawrence is probably feeling very relaxed. He's on the other side of the microphone this evening. Of course, people like Mr. Lawrence have paved the way for people like me to hold the microphone this evening. So we thank you for your example and your tutelage. And it's no coincidence that our next performing act is, guess what? That is it, the YT Kubali Dancers. Of course, Mr. Lawrence is the founder and I believe still the artistic director of the group. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been sitting for the entire night. At this point, you're invited to dance along with our next performers, the YT Kubali Dance Theatre Company.
Drum Award, Dominica's highest cultural award, began with cultural icons Rosemary Coles-Latig, Phyllis Shand Alfrey, and Vernice St. Louis being the first recipients of the award in 1982. Since then, over 150 individuals and groups have received the award for their stellar contribution to Dominica's arts and culture. Now, tonight, you, Cecil Clark, Jacqueline Andre, John Coffey, Claudette Richardson, Matthew LeBlanc, Rosalind Paul, Cameron Pear, Paulus Frederick, Davidson Charles, and Keith Goddard join the Cultural Hall of Fame.
And at this time, we invite Her Excellency, the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Mrs. Burton, to assist us in the distribution of the Golden Drum Awards.
The Golden Drum Award, presented to Cecil Clark for the promotion of the performing and visual arts. Whereas it is considered that you, Cecil Clark, have contributed to the promotion and development of the performing and visual arts, and whereas you were immersed in the performing arts as the co-founder of the St. Alphonsus Scout Band, playing the clarinet and drums, and a member of the Dominica Government Band, in which you played multiple instruments for over 25 years. And whereas you were a teacher at the Kyrie School of Music for several years, giving your time and musical expertise to students who were enrolled at the school, showcasing your continued dedication to music and cultural expression. And whereas you served as Deputy Leader and Director of the St. Lucia Cadet Band, which allowed you to foster youth development and disaster relief efforts, earning accolades such as the Queen's Commission and Long Service Awards. And whereas photography has been a lifelong passion of yours, which was sparked by a gift from your father at the age of 9. This spark led you to train at the New York Institute of Photography and embark on an illustrious career in the visual arts over the years, capturing pivotal moments in Caribbean history, from CARICOM meetings to visits by world leaders and dignitaries, preserving the essence of these events. Whereas you established Eve's Photo Inc. in Dominica and Caribbean Concepts Inc. in St. Lucia, both renowned for their photography services and production of view cards, in which your work was featured in Dominica's first coffee table book, Dominica, An Invitation to Indulge, highlighting the island's beauty and culture, and recently the second edition, Dominica, The Best Kept Secret. And whereas, beyond photography, you continue to dedicate yourself to mentoring young photographers and contributing to initiatives that promote culture and arts in Dominica. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of performing and visual arts.
Golden Drum Award presented to Jacqueline Andre for the promotion and development of stillborn music. Whereas it is considered that you, Jacqueline Andre, have contributed to the promotion and development of stillborn music for over 40 years. And whereas your stillborn journey began at the tender age of 10 in 1974, when you co-founded the vibrant steel band group Fanta Pandemonium with your siblings and other children of your neighborhood. This group performed and captivated audiences at various events around the island and was able to capture carnival competition victories. And whereas during your studies in Trinidad and Tobago, you showcased your exceptional skills at the 1987 National Panorama Competition as part of a group in Arima, whereas in 2008, you started Breezy's Pan Symphony, mentoring young talents from the Cultural Drama Club and other members and guiding them to annual concerts and various performances. And whereas in 2014, you orchestrated a moving tribute concert for your father and cultural icon, Mr. Edward Andre, by uniting members of Breeze's Pan Symphony, Posse Cultural Band, and Genesis Band. The fusion of Genesis Band and the Breeze's Pan Symphony resulted in the birth of Pan in Harmony, a testament to your ability to bring people together through music. Whereas, through your exemplary leadership, Pan in Harmony has received both the esteemed E.O. Eagler Trophy and a special recognition award for its pivotal role in preserving Steel Pan Dominica. Also, as acknowledgement for its outstanding contribution to Steel Pan music, Pan in Harmony received a prestigious award from the Dominica Cancer Society. And whereas you have taken upon yourself to ensure that the pans are tuned yearly and facilitate the tuning of every pan in the band, and have on occasion collaborated with the Cultural Division in this effort island-wide, now therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of promotion and development of steel pan music.
Golden Drum Award presented to John Coffey for the preservation of traditional music. Whereas it is considered that you, John Coffey, better known as Diverill, have contributed to the preservation of traditional music for over 40 years. And whereas you began your contribution to Dominica's culture in the 70s as a boom player, an instrument you currently still play during the independence season and when called upon. Whereas you have never shied away from imparting your knowledge on playing the traditional instrument and have conducted trainings on behalf of the Cultural Division in Marigot, Calibishi, Wesley, Portsmouth, and Pegush, just to name a few. And whereas you have been a member of the Woodford Hill Jing Ping Band, the Portsmouth Jing Ping Band, and Crawford and Company Jing Ping Band, and have accompanied many Jing Ping icons such as Mr. Stephen Drago and deceased Crawford Alexis and Edney Anthony. Whereas you have played and accompanied many groups for the Independence Celebration competitions, not only from your community of Woodford Hill, but groups across the island, such as the Capuchin Cultural Group and the Flamboyant Cultural Group. And whereas you have made yourself available to your community of Woodford Hill and other communities in the north to perform during village feasts and community events when called upon. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the preservation of traditional music.
Golden Drum Award presented to Claudette Richardson for the development and promotion of the performing arts. Whereas it is considered that you, Claudette Richardson, better known as Rashida Bashart, have contributed to the development and promotion of the performing arts for over 40 years. And whereas your journey and service to culture in Dominica began in 1975, a time that was a defining period of our nation and cultural renaissance, you accepted the call and became engulfed in the promotion of our African heritage, culture, and natural living. Whereas in the early 1990s, you joined the dancers, singers, actors, and players cultural group with Rasmo and Rasalji both of whom are now deceased, as well as others, a group that focused on keeping the African spirit alive with every drumbeat at every performance. And whereas you are a founding member of Teat Hawal and have traveled extensively with the group, promoting the theatrical art and culture of Dominica, your most significant venture in the field of theater was a tour to Cameroon, Africa, where you performed Neg Maon, The Maroons, written by Alex Bruno, and you were awarded the Fame Awards Best Actress Award for your stellar acting performances. And whereas since 2002, you have been an event and entertainment production professional, serving as a stage manager or stagehand for many events and shows across the island. Whereas off the stage, you are a seamstress, producing beautiful African and Creole-inspired pieces through the Finesse Beauty House of Fashion, and for decades, you have been a certified tour guide with your extensive knowledge of Dominica's history and culture. And whereas you are a dedicated member of the African Liberation Movement and struggle, upholding the lessons of African pride and natural and healthy living, and grow what you eat and eat what you grow. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the development and promotion of the performing arts.
The Golden Drum Award presented to Matthew LeBlanc for the preservation of traditional music, whereas it is considered that you, Matthew LeBlanc, have contributed to the preservation of traditional music for over 40 years. And whereas at the tender age of 8, your love for Dominica's culture was sparked by your parents as you accompanied them to Jing Ping dances as a child, a love that blossomed in 1978, where you began to play the gouache and the boom boom. Whereas you have been a member of the Vekas Jing Ping Band, the Portsmouth Jing Ping Band, the Penville Jing Ping Band, and the Crawford and Company Jing Ping Band as a gouache player, and you continue to play during the independence season and other cultural activities. And whereas you have served as a trainer of the art of playing the gouache for many years, sharing your knowledge of gouache playing to many individuals across the island who have an interest in learning to play the instrument. And whereas you can be seen playing the gouache at the Vekas Catholic Church for regular church services and feast days. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the preservation of traditional music.
Golden Drum Award presented to Roslyn Paul for the preservation, development, and promotion of traditional culture. Whereas it is considered that you, Roslyn Paul, have contributed to the preservation, development, and promotion of traditional culture for over 40 years. And whereas your love for Dominica's traditional culture stemmed from childhood as you actively participated in and learnt traditional dances during Jing Ping dances held at your auntie's dance hall and Bele Laku events in your community of Perush. Whereas this love and passion for Dominica's traditional culture led you to become a founding member of the Perush Cultural Group. And whereas, as leader of the Perush Cultural Group, you have composed and arranged patois songs for the group's participation in independence patois song competitions, which has seen the group victorious on numerous occasions. Whereas, under your leadership, the group has produced 5 albums of folk songs which have become popular and can be heard on local radio stations and performed locally and within the diaspora. And whereas, as the leader of the Kush cultural group, you have been involved in community and cultural development activities and projects, participated in national, regional, and international cultural events, as well as the research and documentation, preservation and promotion of Dominica's cultural heritage and the cultural exchanges. Whereas, as a cultural advocate, you have served on the National Cultural Council and been at the helm of cultural development as the Minister of Culture, Sports and Community Development, and now consultant on cultural enterprises. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the conservation, development, and promotion of traditional culture.
The Golden Drum Award presented to Davidson Dele Charles for the preservation of Jing Ping and local traditional music. Whereas it is considered as you, Davidson Charles, better known as Dele, have contributed to the promotion of traditional culture for over 40 years. And whereas you began learning to play the traditional instruments at the age of 10 after watching your father play the tambour drum for the Jing Ping band in the late 1970s and began your musical journey playing for the Roseau Cultural Group at the age of 15. And whereas you not only play the tambour, but also the gouache and boom boom for various cultural groups throughout the years, and have become a staple during the independence celebrations and cultural performances as one of the leading traditional musicians. And whereas you have accompanied groups such as the Roseau Cultural Group, the Point Michel Cultural Group, and you are currently a member of the Petit Savan Jing Ping Band. Whereas, in the early 90s, you took up the mantle as leader of the Jing Ping Band following the death of your father, and later formed the Gutta Lampo Cabrits, which participates every year in carnival celebrations and out-of-season activities when requested. And whereas you conducted trainings in your community Gutta Village and the Roseau Primary School, and with other community groups and organizations throughout the island. Whereas you have traveled to represent Dominica in the United States and various Caribbean countries, including Guadeloupe, Bahamas, Antigua, Martinique, and Saint Martin. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of Jing Ping and Lapa Kabwit traditional music.
Golden Drum Award presented to Paulus Frederick for the preservation and development of indigenous Kalinago music and culture. Whereas it is considered that you, Paulus Frederick, have contributed to the preservation and development of indigenous Kalinago music and culture for over 40 years. And whereas, from an early age, traditional instruments have beckoned to you, so it was no surprise at the age of 14 that you began your musical journey as the drummer for the Saladier Catholic Church. Whereas your love for the preservation and promotion of indigenous culture led you in 1978 to become a part of the Carifuna Youths, a youth group which later evolved into the Carifuna Cultural Group. And whereas, as a member of the Carifuna Cultural Group, you participated in many independence competitions and continue to be an active member of the group as a drummer and vocalist. Whereas, For many years, you have participated in the Independence Bamboo Flute competitions, one of Dominica's endangered cultural traditions. And whereas you never shy away from offering your services, conducting numerous drumming and bamboo flute sessions at the Siniku and the Salibia primary schools. Whereas you represented the Kalinago Art and Craft Association and Dexia at various trade shows throughout the region. And in 2007, you participated in the Bleedley Canoe Expedition from Antigua to Tortola, where you served as a spokesperson, discussing cultural aspects of the Kalinago people on every island visited. And whereas you are not only a musician, but also a visual artist specializing in acrylic and oil paintings and wood carving from the 1980s, you have hand-painted numerous billboards and signs throughout the Kalinago territory. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of preservation and development of indigenous Kalinago music and culture.
The Golden Drum Award, presented to Cameron Pear for the promotion and development of contemporary music. Whereas it is considered that you, Cameron Pear, have distinguished yourself as one of Dominica's most internationally acclaimed musicians with a career spanning over 40 years. And whereas your musical journey began in your community of Soufriere at the age of 16 when you joined the band Black Roots as its bass player, providing the musical bass line for their solo album. Whereas you have established yourself as one of the most sought-after guitarists internationally in jazz and reggae, an incredible feat as you are a self-taught guitar player. And whereas you have flown the Dominican flag for many years internationally, playing for artists such as Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, The Mighty Sparrow, David Rudder, Andy Narell, Dennis Rollins, and Courtney Pine, just to name a few. It is with the latter that you have spent over 30 years as a member of his band. Whereas your travels have seen you gracing the stage in numerous countries across the globe, such as Nigeria, Egypt, Tunisia, France, Germany, Holland, Belgium, Italy, Croatia, Japan, Argentina, Thailand, and countless others. And whereas you have released 6 solo albums where you have written and composed all of the compositions on these records. Whereas you continue to perform internationally and locally at events such as Jazz and Creole, Jazz in the City, and other jazz-related events across the island. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of promotion and development of contemporary music.
Golden Drum Award presented to Keith Goddard for the promotion and development of bouillon music. Whereas it is considered that you, Keith Goddard, have contributed to the promotion and the development of bouillon music for over 30 years. And whereas you began your musical journey as a bassist for the Dominica Folk Singers, which gave you an appreciation for Dominica's folk and traditional music, which would later be the foundation for the creation of bouillon music. Whereas you are a founding member of the band WCK, which was formed in 1987 for the DBS Courtesy Song Contest. And whereas you are one of the creators of bouillon music, which has become one of Dominica's leading indigenous musical genres. Whereas you have, over the years, composed and arranged songs for the band, which have gone on to become major hits both in Dominica and the Caribbean region. And whereas you have represented Dominica through your travels as the band manager and bassist of the WCK at performances, namely at the Apollo Theatre in Harlem, an iconic moment for bouillon music, and on international and regional tours spanning the US, Canada, Europe, Colombia, and the Caribbean. Whereas in the musical scene, you have contributed your bass lines and musical knowledge to local and regional artists such as Patrice Roberts on the most recent hit, Look My Friend. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council and the Cultural Division present you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the promotion and development of bouillon music.
Thank you very much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 recipients of the Golden Drum Awards. We, of course, thank Her Excellency for assisting us in the distribution of the awards. We also would like to thank Madame Award 2022, Madame of Madams 2023, Miss Award 2023, and the contestants for the Miss Award competition 2024 for also assisting us with the distribution of the Golden Drum Awards. Of course, we salute you and congratulate you, Mr. Cecil Clark, Ms. Jacqueline Andre, Mr. John Coffey, Ms. Claudette Richardson, Mr. Matthew LeBlanc, Ms. Rosalind Paul, Mr. Davidson Dele Charles, Mr. Paulus Frederick, Mr. Cameron Pierre, and Mr. Keith Gordon. Congratulations, and for the culture, we thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, of course, it would be almost impossible to have so many talented people in one room and not find a way to put a lovely little ensemble band together. So, to tantalize you this evening, we have an all-star Jing Ping band presenting some of our awardees this evening: Auden Hamilton, Davidson Charles, John Coffey, and Matthew LeBlanc. Put your hands together for the 2024 Golden Drum All-Star Jing Ping Band. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Jing Ping All-Star Band. We can together one more time for them. So we thank them, and of course the night is just warming up, it's heating up. So at this time, I'm going to throw it over to something special. course, we'll be joining the Superman very soon on the Western Lawn. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being with us this evening. Thanks to all of our awardees. We want to thank the media, all of you who listened and who joined us via the radio and online for being with us at this 2024 Golden Drum Award. So the evening, as you can clearly see, is not over yet. But at this point, we're going to allow Her Excellency, the President of the Council of Dominica, Mrs. Burton, and Mr. Burton, to make their exit. Please stand. Thank you very much. Of course, we're all invited to cocktail on the Western Lawn. So Chupo has asked to follow them. So Anwale. Thank you very much, ladies. It's been a pleasure serving you this evening, and I look forward to seeing you all next year at the 2025 Golden Drum Awards. Have a wonderful evening.
So there you have it, everyone, the culmination 2024 Golden Drum Awards. Of course, we'll try to get some feedback from some of the awardees as we have cocktail on the Western Lawn. Do join us in a bit.
Good evening, Mr. Hamilton. How are you feeling today?
Good. I'm excited.
And you are all smiles. I'm sure that the person Mr. Matthews spoke about who had chairs was you, right?
Of course, yes.
And I just want to congratulate you on behalf of Emu News.
Thank you.
And can you tell us your beginnings in playing music?
Well, yes, it was all humble beginnings, playing on teens, the guitar, I did not have an actual guitar. It was, fishing line. And then, everything turned out, a couple years down the line, everything started changing. And that's what it is today.
And quite an accomplished musician you are.
I'm trying.
And a very humble man. Humble and unassuming. I see you going along your daily work at the cultural division, and I would never imagine that you are quite this accomplished.
Yeah, all thanks to the Most High, so I'll just continue to do what I have to do.
And when you started, what was your goal? Did you have this end in mind, or was it just...
Well, I always no, I never had plans or intentions on working at the cultural division. But, from childhood growing up, dancing with the cultural group and with the various bands, we just fell in line and, yeah.
So when you started playing music, you didn't imagine that you would have accomplished all of this?
No.
And it wasn't like, say, your goal, like you didn't start playing thinking that one day, I want to do this or I want to do that.
When we started, back then in my village, we did not really know coming to Roseau for Carnival, we always used to have our own carnival. Till I was exposed to coming to Roseau for Carnival and looking at the guys on the trucks, I was like, one day I want to be on that truck too, and then it just happened.
And what are the benefits, would you say, for people taking part in the arts? What are the benefits?
I would say, well, a lot of the people that are involved in the arts, I don't think they're doing anything in it to say like you know, it's just something that happens. It's just naturally gifted with the art form. I don't think people would actually try to go and do something, you know, to at the end of the day try and get something from it. I believe it's just a talent. It's just God given. And to me, well, I'm speaking from experience where to me, I'm so excited. I mean, you know, so.
And I can feel your excitement, and I'm sure we can all feel it from the screen.
Yes.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And may you reach even greater heights.
Thank you. Thank you.
And when we pass it, we're seeing this beautiful sight. The former leader of the Six of Sisters Singers and the present leader as well. A beautiful sight indeed. Hi, good evening, ladies. Welcome to Emma News.
Thank you.
Can you tell me? I mean, I'm just saying, I know the former leader and the present leader of the Six of Sisters Singers. How was it passing over the baton, Miss Christian?
Absolutely seamless. You know, something I thought about for a long time. And when I discovered Marie, it was like she was the chosen one. You know, I really was so happy with that. And she was so willing, and she's so capable, so talented. I keep telling people this was divine intervention. Right, Marie?
Yeah,
absolutely. So.
And do you feel any form of pressure? Because you know these are not very small shoes to feel.
Very much. But Auntie Pearl told me something, you know, she has her own shoes and I have my own shoes. So although there's a lot of pressure, I know that my heart is in the right place. I want to maintain the standard of Sister Singers, and that is really what drives me. It's all about making sure that Sister Singers remains of good standard. So, and Auntie Pearl, she has never let go of my hand. I go to her for everything. All the questions I have, she answers them. So I'm very happy to do it.
And let me just say, on behalf of all Dominica, congratulations to you too. We enjoy the Six of Sisters Singers, and we look forward to having them forever.
Thank you.
That's something my granny and I looked forward to. Mm-hmm. So imagine, you see the generations that both of us enjoyed all of the performances.
So now Marie's under pressure to get. I know, to get everybody, to find whoever she's handing over that baton to. That's right. It's my problem now. But thank you.
So we see quite a few of them are taking some pictures now. So we'll probably have to get some comments after. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Just hold this.
Okay, cool.
You are live on Emma News.
God have mercy. Well,
Can you
what? I mean, you all are always all over the place.
We try.
Touching stuff, but I must commend you guys. You are doing fantastic.
And I have to commend you guys. That was such a performance this evening. Can you tell me how you feel when you are performing?
Well, actually, all I know is like when you're performing, you just have to be yourself and everything will be in place. That's all I can tell you. You know, but this evening is a real special evening for us in Chidwell. But I'm not the leader, but I'm a member. I'm singing, playing the bass and stuff. But like I said, for everybody else, it's a wonderful, wonderful night for us all. And then we'll continue to do what we have to do. Like preserving the culture, traditional vibes, every carnival, that's how we play and all the feasts and that.
And how long do you think you can continue doing this?
As long as I'm living. Probably on a wheelchair, you see this up to them. Once you're off and moving, you see whatever, and then your hands still able to do any stuff. I will do it, but I to say, pleasure, I'm feeling honored, to be recognized by the cultural division.
Definitely.
But Emma News, on that note, big up yourself. Continue the good work you're doing.
And congratulations to you all. And there are some other members of the Chupul Juve Band. And the final performance was from them. They did an awesome job. And here we have another awardee. Hi, good evening. Would you like to give me some comments on with Ever News? So good evening, Miss Andre. And how are you feeling?
Well, humbled, elated, just happy to be recognized. And, so many thoughts came to me now because of my dad. Just seeing his picture, it was in the group, brought back so many memories, fun memories, being with my family.
And of course, we can imagine that your inspiration came from your father.
Yes.
Okay, so he was the one who introduced you to steel pan.
Well, yes. What happened, my dad had started a steel band, this special, and so they were practicing downstairs of our house. And so when he showed them the pieces, we would go on the pans and practice. And then when he saw that we were so interested in pan, he also made steel pans for us, and we go with a few of our neighbors in Capefield. So yeah, that was it.
And would you say that it rests on the shoulders of parents to encourage their children in the arts?
Yes. Yes, they should. Right now we have a junior band, and the parents are very, very supportive. I can't say, I'm so impressed with the way they deal with the children. They encourage the children to perform, to come to not just performing, but practicing. And so they ensure that they come to practice and, they learn whatever, and yeah.
And let's just take a minute to talk about your outfit. Oh, such a lovely design right here. Was it designed by you?
I stole that design, but kind of.
And it's lovely, it fits you well. Finally, what are some of the benefits that you would say persons can get from the arts, or being involved with the arts?
Well, one thing, it helps the children. When you're involved in arts, it gives you a holistic approach towards life. From that, you can build in relationships, because that's very important. Team building. And also discipline, you have to come to practice. You have to, you understand what I mean? And you make new friends, and it does so much for you, and your skills, your learning skills. I was so surprised that I was at a Cancer Society event, and the MC was saying that I don't know if she would say it as a joke, but she said that, I wasn't so bright when I was young, but when I joined Fanta Pan, I started playing steel band, I started doing well in school. It does help. It's a proven fact that music and art and all that does improve the abilities of the young ones.
Well, once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And there you have it, folks. Miss Jacqueline Andre, of course, one of the founding members or the founder of Fanta Pan. And of course, I remember Fanta Pan back in the day. And now she's involved in Pan in Harmony. And we have the lovely Miss Deshette and Miss Richardson. I wanted to know myself. Okay.
Tourists, everybody knows this. Over the years,
I like it. I love it. And I love your outfit as well. Was it sewn by you? And well, this is the perfect opportunity to wear it. And did I tell you congratulations as yet? No, I just want to say, because I know you from Finesse, and I did not realize how accomplished you were. Such a humble lady. Well, can you tell me what it was like traveling? Because I think I heard that you went all the way to Cameroon to perform.
is their power, their power. I went to Africa, and that was the context. I remember reaching to Africa and I knelt down and kissed the ground when I said it in motherland, you know.
And were you at all nervous to perform in front of these crowds?
No, because they made us so comfortable. That it was just like
Were you able to catch this year's Schools Arts Festival?
No,
Okay. Because just looking at some of your pictures, I was reminded of this young lady from the Grant Bay Primary School, who I think you could take under your wing. Yeah, she performed in a skit from the primary, well, not from the primary, the secondary school, and she did an awesome job. Well, congratulations to you once again, and we look forward to seeing you on those big screens again. Definitely. You take care and enjoy the rest of the evening. And that was the lovely Miss Claudette Richardson, also known as Rashida Gachette. Okay, so we're gonna go outside now to see some of the. Okay, I'm seeing Mr. Dede over there. He seems to be engaged. Okay, somebody said they were not hearing. So sorry about that. But most of the people are hearing, so it's probably on your device. So here we see Mr. Cecil. Let's see if we can get him before we go outside. And of course, it was a lovely evening. I mean, let's talk about. Are you running to get to the cocktail, or do you have a second to spare? Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And can you tell me how you feel in this moment?
It's amazing. It's been a while I've been in photography and music, and I'm thankful for the Division of Culture and the Government of Dominica for awarding me this beautiful and prestige award today.
And you just released 2 books. Can you tell us what the reception has been like?
The reception has been very well, very good. I have been to St. Lucia to launch the book. I've been to Barbados, and very soon I'll be going to Antigua. Yeah, and the local market has been great.
Good.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit, because we see persons shying away, especially young people, shying away from the arts in terms of using the arts to make a living. What would you say about that?
You can make a living in the art form in various fields. There's photography, there's music, there is dancing, there is painting, there's all aspects. And you just have to choose the field that you feel most comfortable, and you will succeed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cecil Clark, and you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much. And you're from?
M1 News. Oh, sorry.
Okay, you can take my number and send me this.
I will.
Take my number.
Okay. And let's just talk about the evening for a little bit. I mean, can you talk about the ability of the cultural division and take my 215 and ring me 215 Okay, I'm sorry about that. I just realized you heard everything. I was saying, yes, let's talk about the cultural division's ability to plan and execute. And they're taking a picture right now. And I'm just going to go a little closer. I will get Mr. Raymond to talk to us in a little bit. I'm just going to go a little closer to show you some of them. I mean, let's talk about the timing, the colors, the performances. I don't think you can say that there's anything that wasn't right on and spot on. I want to go back to last year just a little bit, just because I was here last year and I enjoyed last year. I was so thrilled last year, especially by the Dominica Grammar School. performance. And we saw last year the Dominican Grammar School brought the golden drums to the front, and this year we saw it being done by the Whitey Kubali Dance Theatre Company. Again, so beautiful. And here Mr. Dede wants us to, I'm not taking pictures though, Mr. Dede, but you can talk to me while you're here. How are you doing this evening? Not as yet. I'm Hovis. Good evening. How are you?
Not too bad.
And I'm from Emo News. And how do you feel receiving this reward? Let me just zoom in on it. This all yours. How do you feel?
I really feel good.
When you're sitting there playing your instrument, what goes through your mind?
Well, what's going on in my mind, I just feel like the spirit just come back in me of playing instruments.
And would you prefer to be anywhere else or right there? Anywhere, you can play like that anywhere. Now, can you tell us when you started playing? How old you started playing?
I started from 15 years.
15 years. And what did you say to young people who want to play?
I was telling young people, if you want to train, you can call my number, call me, and call my supervisor from Pizzavan, Hans Francis. Then you can get me, and then I can train anyone.
Okay, congratulations, and we wish you much success.
Thank you.
And like I was saying before, the cultural division has again outdone themselves, and here we have some more staff right there, and Mr. Lawrence must be very proud that they are continuing to do like they are continuing to follow in his footsteps, continue to chart their own paths as well, as we are definitely seeing some contemporary aspects to what they are doing. Lovely. I'm seeing Mr. Olson, but he must be very busy right now. I made a new friend this evening. Again, some more staff right there. And she's also a dancer in the Whitey Kubali Dance Theatre Company. So, of course, the staff are very talented, and they would be in that line of work. Okay, so I see Mr. Lawrence coming. I see he has a friend, so maybe he doesn't have any time to talk. You have some time, Mr. Lawrence? Hi, how do you feel this evening?
Yeah, good. You
Just hold it.
Yes, I was quite impressed, with the Golden Drum Award ceremony. It's something that the Cultural Division has been doing for many, many years. Since the time of Alwyn Goody, when he was Chief Cultural Officer, and then of course I took over and so on. So I'm just happy that we continue to recognize the people who have made long-standing contributions, to cultural development in Dominica. So I was quite happy about that.
And one of the things I picked up on this evening was the fact that the division continues to use these musicians to teach in the primary schools.
Yes, we have had a training program going on. That's part of the mandate for the Cultural Division, training. So we've always been training around the island, and that's why you always have the young ones coming up. And because you never know, sometimes the older ones, they go away or they move on to something, but then you have the younger ones now who can always replace them, and training in the schools is very important.
And one of the things I did not realize that I learned this evening was how many accomplished musicians that we have all around the world. I mean, I'm hearing of Mr. Cameron Pierre and all of the bands that he played with, coming from Sufria, it was? Sufria?
And then, so that's why the training is important. For them to play professionally, like with bands and, on their own, and also for them to be able to pass on the skills, like to teach, to pass on the skills and, among young people in the schools and all of those things. Because, you need a lot of tutors in the arts as well, so that you can pass on those skills. And plus you need the professional musicians to be part of bands, to be singers, to, you know, perform, not just in Dominica, but overseas. So that continues. So the culture of Dominica remains vibrant and rich.
And of course,
Yes.
as artistic director of White Community Dance Theatre Company, you will never disappoint. You and your team never disappoint.
Yeah.
From costume to everything, just always a splendid performance.
Thank you very much. This year we're celebrating 53 years, and we just did a show at the Fortune Hotel, Encounters, which was part of Emancipation, actually. So the work I mean, I thank God that He has brought us to 53rd anniversary. It's been a very long time, and I thank the dancers, past dancers, present dancers, so that the work can continue.
Now let me pick your brain. Favorite, last year or this year?
In terms of
The Golden Drum Awards.
Okay.
You have to give me an answer.
Well, you know, each event has its own sort of special qualities and characteristics. And last year was good, and this year was also very good. So I congratulate the Cultural Division and the staff for the work that they've done.
And culture is in safe hands.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Always a pleasure speaking to you. When Karim spoke about you, I was like, but I have to hear that voice in the evening section of the Carnival Queen Show. No other voice will do. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Okay, folks, thanks for sticking with us. And I think we're just going to go and show the outside, and we'll call it a night. Thank you so much for always choosing Emo News. May you have a beautiful evening. And of course, as a Dominican, you feel very proud right now for such a splendid awards show. And like Karim said, it's definitely on par with those that we like to watch on American television. It's coming right here to a station near you in your very own nature island, Dominica. So let's get a little bit of Pan in Harmony. They're supposed to be on now in the courtyard. And we see Mr. Zamor. Stephen Andrea, Miss Andre, and all the others. So just to tease you a little, this is what the invitees are enjoying at this moment on the western part of the state yard of the state ground. And that's Miss Christian, one of the awardees this evening, performing with Pan in Harmony. And as you heard, Pan in Harmony is a fusion of, was it Pan and Genesis? I think. And then you have Miss Andre, founder, artistic director, enjoying herself on a shack. Once again, thanks for choosing Emo News, and we are saying good evening, everyone. And may we all continue to play our part in developing Dominica's culture. And we saw a fusion of indigenous, traditional, as well as contemporary being awarded and being celebrated here this evening. So we have our indigenous people, as well as our older persons and our younger music. So once again, from the State House and from the 2024 Golden Drum Award ceremony, we are saying goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining, and do have a pleasant evening. Goodbye.